Welcome to a new series that we are having for students. It's called Virtual College Chat Series. We have our first virtual chat former student, alumni, Silvia Yantuche. My name is Veronica Nieves. I am the school counselor, and we're presenting these talks to motivate students to know that they can accomplish and achieve their dreams of going to college. I'm here to introduce Silvia Yantuche. She is a student that I guess I've known now for close to maybe 3 years. And we've talked many times about her goals to go to college and how she could go about that. And she's here to share her experience with you. So I'd like to introduce Silvia Yantuche. Go ahead, Silvia. Are you there, Silvia?
I think, Silvia, you might be muted.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No worries. Okay, Sylvia, so like I was telling the audience, you were a former student with us, and you're here to share your experience in our first virtual college chat series. So go ahead, it's all yours, Sylvia.
Thank you. Thank you and welcome, everyone. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us today for this webinar. I am excited to have all of you here and share this information. My name is Silvia Yantuche. My goal for today's course is to motivate you to continue with your higher education. Okay, can you change the slides?
Ooh. Let me see. Next slide. Okay, there you go.
Well, I came to the US 5 years ago. It was becoming very difficult for me to succeed in a new culture where I didn't speak the language, and I back then I had 2 jobs, and it was difficult to communicate with other people at the workplace. That is when I decided that the best way to improve my life was to go back to school. That is when I started getting information about Torrance Adult School. Can you change the slide? Mm-hmm. My journey at Torrance Adult School started in 2017 when I enrolled in ESL classes at Griffin Adult Center. There, I met amazing people that guide me and inform me about the GED program. In 2018, I think, I started taking classes at Hamilton Center to get my high school equivalency, with no inspirations to continue with higher education. But all the information around college awakened in me ambitions to continue with the school and pursue a professional career. I am pretty sure that most of you want to have your own business or pursue professional careers. Let me tell you, if there is something that I have learned through the years, is that you must be prepared in order to succeed. You may be wondering right now, how you can prepare to become the best accountant in your area, or maybe the best lawyer. The answer is simple. Education is key. That is going to open doors for you and your family. The opportunities are there. The only thing you need to do is to search for them. You see, we as students have so many advantages over people that doesn't have the access to the guidance. You have a whole system that wants you to succeed. That is why it's so important to have a good relationship with your counselor, your teacher, and your classmates. They might have information that you might need in the future. For example, in my case, Counselor Veronica Nieves was a great support in my journey when applying to college. Let me tell you a story. When I started to apply to colleges, I was rejected because of my immigrant status. I was trying to go to college, but there was no possible way that I could afford college being an undocumented student. It was very difficult to find veridic information. Can you change the slide? Right now, well, after graduating Hamilton Center last year in 2019, I was accepted at Harvard College, thankfully, where I have found a rich, diverse community with a lot of support for students like me. Harvard College allowed me to grow, learn, and have higher expectations every day. It has not been easy, but I have learned to ask for help and take advantage of the resources available. Today, I am working to earn my associate degree for transfer to a four-year university. This degree allows me and guarantees me a spot in the CSU system, such as Cal State Long Beach and others. This opportunity gives me the advantage to continue with the school, since some of these universities are highly impacted and competitive. Can you change the slide?
Sylvia, just wanted to let the audience know, what is your major now in Los Angeles Harbor College?
I am working to earn my associate degree for business administration, but when I transfer to university, I am going to do business economics.
Okay, change the slide. Okay. So I think this is a video that you have to share about the connection with UC schools and with CC and UC schools. Is that correct?
No, that video is about this the degree for transfer.
Okay. Do you want to show it now?
Sure, thank you.
The Associate Degree for Transfer offers many advantages to California community college students.
The transition of going from high school to community college is just a little bit easier.
I think community college is like a stepping stone to university life.
Being able to have that pathway and that all that setup is already done for me was great.
It's common sense to start at a community college level. There's a lot of advantages to going to a community college before you head into a four-year university program. For me, the biggest advantage was affordability. I walked into Sonoma State basically having already saved close to $30,000.
One of the benefits of attending community college is the hands-on approach that they take. The class sizes are super small. Your counselor remembers who you are. Your teachers know you on a first name basis. And so you kind of develop a relationship that's everlasting.
It was really the Santa Rosa Junior College that pushed me into doing this, really kind of helped me see that I still had something to offer. I was superintendent for a local painting company, but I got injured in a scaffolding collapse in 2011. So I was starting over from ground zero at basically 49 years old, no high school diploma, no other training in any other field, and just feeling like the rug had been pulled out from underneath me. I went into this thinking I'll just get a high school diploma, and then I thought, well, I'll just get an AA, and now I'm sitting here weeks away from achieving my bachelor's degree at summa level. I'm a history major with a mathematics minor, and I want to become a teacher. I wouldn't be sitting here right now in front of this camera if it wasn't for the ADT. What was really important to me was regaining my identity and self-worth. You can't put a price on that.
For California community college students, the Associate Degree for Transfer makes it easy to transition to a participating four-year college or university. To apply, visit adegreewithaguarantee.com.
Do you have any questions about that video?
Well, let me just see if I make sure I pause this video. I guess I did. Okay, so Sylvia, I just want to just highlight to the audience that in your case, You started at Torrance Adult School as an ESL student, correct?
Yes.
And then did you have any degrees from your country?
I started the university there, but I didn't finish. I did like 1 year. But when I came here, I didn't speak any English. So it was very difficult for me to find a job where I could like feel that I was doing something for, that I could feel like fulfilled. But it was not possible because I didn't speak the language. That is when I decided that I had to learn the language. And after being like a year at Griffin Adult Center, a classmate told me about the GED program. And that is when I decided that I needed to get my GED because I felt like doing my GED could help me with my grammar, with my English skills. So after attending Hamilton for a couple of years, I learned about the community college, and that is when I decided that I want to go to college, right? I want to do that, but everyone told me that it was not possible because of my immigrant status. It was difficult, but I guess that all there is little information for students like me.
Okay, yeah, and I just wanted to highlight that many of our students are in a similar situation as you are, that they are starting probably in the ESL program or have started in the ESL program, and you are providing an example of how you can start an ESL, but you don't have to stay in ESL. You can go from ESL to getting your high school diploma or your GED or high set, and then you can go on to college. So I just wanted to let students know that has been your journey so far. So we want students to feel motivated that they can achieve higher goals no matter where they come from. So we saw this video. Are you ready for the next video? I mean, the next slide? Or you want to say?
Yeah, I just want to tell the students that it is a long journey. It is a lot because it took me like 4 years to do all of that, but it's so worth it. That it's amazing to go to college and have all that system supporting you. And I have a classmate here from Griffin, Maria. She was awesome. We were classmates, and she now is attending El Camino College, I think. She is also transferring to Cal State Long Beach.
Very nice. Okay, so our next slide is the CSU system. So what do you have to share about this slide?
The CSU system means California State University. The CSU system is composed by 23 universities. 2 of them are close by, Cal State Long Beach and Dominguez Hills, 2 of the 23. Both universities offer diverse programs that can help you and prepare you to launch your own business or prepare you to get a degree in 2 to 4 years. As I was saying, being an adult student means that you are going to face uncomfortable challenges, and at the end of the day, everything resumes to how you can afford to study and support yourself. The California College Promise Grant is a statewide commitment to help students to pursue higher education goals by waiving tuition fees. That's a lot of help because the tuition fees are super expensive for international students or undocumented students. Many colleges also offer childcare services and financial aid for books and other costs of attendance, such as food and rent. I think that is super important because I remember, I am not a parent myself, but I remember that I had a couple of classmates that benefited a lot from the childcare services at Hamilton. for them, it was possible to attend the school because they had a childcare service. And also community colleges also offer childcare services. So that is a really nice service. You should apply to the California grant. If you have lived in California for at least 1 year, you have been determined by a California resident homeless youth by the Financial Aid Office, or you are eligible for non-resident tuition as an AB 540 or AB 1899 student or with a T or U visa.
You want me to click to the next slide? Or?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Also, this is super exciting too. If the school of your dreams is far away, many of these programs also offer family housing. And most important, when applying to universities, they do not take into consideration your economic or legal status. What matters for them is what you can afford to your community and how they can support unusual students like us. Californian students have many choices when transferring to a four-year university. The UC system has 9 prestigious universities to choose from to continue with higher education. 9 of these universities are UC Berkeley, UC Santa Barbara, UC Irvine, UC Merced, UCLA, UC San Diego, UC Santa Cruz, UC Davis, and UC Riverside. Can you continue to the next one?
Sure. And I just wanted to let our students know that are you considering a UC system school?
I am applying to both systems to
Okay.
have a wide variety of options, but I am still
Thinking about applying. Okay. Thank you. Okay.
So these statistics are really like shocking to see because they are really high. Because half of the UC students are among the first generation to attend college, and most come from low-income families. Once they earn a UC diploma, they quickly go on to climb the economic ladder. The UC system also offers a lot of financial aid for students that transfer from a community college. 49 of the UC's first-generation students are African American, Latinos, Chicano, or American Indian. 39 of the UC's first-generation students speak English as a second language. 60% of the UC's first-generation students are from lower-income households. I think you are considered a low income if you earn less than $80,000 a year. You can. When I came to this country, I didn't know many people, but I have learned to find support in my community. I have joined students clubs that have helped me to find people like me. Talking to them, I have realized how difficult it is to start a career when little information is around, or when you don't know people that have been through the same obstacles that you are facing right now. Joining a student club can help you to find a community that supports you. Some clubs available at Harvard College are the Umoja. Umoja is a community and critical resource dedicated to enhancing the cultural and educational experiences of African American and other students. The Honors Club is a community dedicated to serving students in a challenging curriculum designed to prepare students to transfer and wants to achieve the highest standards for ourselves academically and socially. Also, Puente. Puente is a program that helps also has a club that helps and support unrepresented students. Many of the Puente students are among the Mexican American and Latino students. I don't know if you want to. Do you have any questions about these clubs or information about the Umoja Puente or honors?
Well, I have a question. How do students apply for these programs? Are there special requirements for any of these programs, any of these clubs?
No, the clubs are available for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great opportunity to meet new people and people that share the same background as you. For example, I love the Puente Club because there is a lot of students that speak Spanish, so I don't feel like I have to think before I speak. And it's really easy to share with them. Also, the president from the Puente Club is an alumni of Hamilton Center.
Oh, great.
I don't know if you remember.
Oh, I see. I see in the pictures that Arlette is a former student, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's a former student as well who is earning her high school diploma. So, yes, so that's great. I'm glad that you have alumni from Torrance Adult School there at Harbor College.
Yeah, she's the president. And yes, the club's meeting are also online right now.
Oh, great. Fabulous.
Yeah. Thank you for asking, Maria. 4 things that I will have liked to know before attending college is that it is very important to choose a career if you can, and research how your school supports your major. For example, we have 2 colleges, community colleges close by to us, right? Harbor College and El Camino College. If I were starting again the process to go into college, I will go to El Camino and Harbor and compare how is my major supported by the school. For example, the engineering program at Harbor College is very impacted, and therefore the students have a lot of support from counselors, and they have extra financial aid. The students that also want to become, they want to study a career in the medical field, they also have a lot of extra financial aid support.
I have a question, Silvia. What do you mean by impacted?
Impacted that a lot of students apply to that major. A lot of students are studying that major.
But regardless, there's a lot of financial assistance for students interested in you said engineering and the medical field?
Yes, a lot of students apply for the STEM majors. STEM means science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Okay.
So they have a lot of special programs for those students. As I was saying, financial aid, scholarships, they have also special scholarships for them. Also, they have a lot of opportunities for internships. Some of those internships are paid internships. I did one during summer because I also like the area of marketing. So they were offering internships for marketing, and I was doing an internship during summer, and it was a paid internship, and it's really nice because you can learn a lot. And I was doing marketing for a company. Also, students can apply to work-study opportunities to work for the school. While they attend the school, they also can work for the school. Another tip that I would like to share with the students is to start the applying process 2 months before or as soon as it becomes available. Do not wait until 1 week before the classes start. um, find and join a support group or a club. You will find people with similar goals as yours, and the transition process will become easier. Because for me, it was very difficult because I didn't knew many people at the Harvard College, and I was getting like the imposter syndrome because it was really difficult to follow my English professor because I came from Hamilton, and I remember that Miss Sharon was really supportive with me when I didn't understand something. So it was very difficult for me to follow the pace of the classes. So I had to find classmates that could help me with my homework. So if you can find you can join a club or find people with similar goals as yours, the transition process is going to be so much easier.
It's a good tip. Thank you so much. Next slide.
Yes, please.
Okay. So I guess here students want to know, we've heard a little bit about your plans for the future. What else? What else are your plans for the future?
Right now, I am focusing on transferring to a four-year university by next fall. I am applying to the UC system, and I have a guarantee spot at UCSB, UC Santa Barbara.
Okay.
I don't know yet if I am going to choose UC Santa Barbara because I have other options that I am currently waiting for. If it is possible, I would like to stay local and attend a university that does not require me to move to another place. That is very important to me. So I don't know yet if I'm going to attend UC Santa Barbara. That is why it's so important to start the process early, because that way, for me, I have more options to choose.
Wow, that's great. And how many schools did you apply to?
I can apply as much schools as I want to, but the applying process also becomes sometimes a little bit expensive because each application is like $80.
Right.
But I am planning to apply to UCLA and UC Irvine as well. Those UC, I have UC Santa Barbara, UCLA, and UC Irvine, and for the UC, I'm also applying to Cal State Long Beach.
Wow, that's great. That's great.
I'm waiting to see which university fits me better for the future.
And your field of study is going to be
business economics.
Business economics. And why did you choose that major?
I feel like I fell in love with the economics class at Harvard College. My teacher was really awesome. To be honest, I have had the opportunity to have great teachers. So it was a field where I could, like, in the future, I could also go to marketing or major or specialize in economics. So I feel like business economics is a very broad career that can lead me to do more things.
Okay. Anything else you want to share about your future plans?
No, that's it. I just plan to continue with my job and keeping my GPA, because that is very important too when applying to universities. They take into consideration my grades. So I am really focused on keeping my grades up.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna go to the next slide. Okay, so this is the whole point of these college chats. We want to know what words of encouragement you have. Students right now, especially now during this time, everybody's wondering about the future, and they want to make plans, but they're uncertain. And so what words of encouragement do you have so we can all feel motivated?
I feel like it is very important to find a mentor, because sometimes when you feel lost, they can help you to find your path and encourage you to keep going. And I also want to encourage students, undocumented students, to apply to universities. We have the same opportunities as students born in the US. So you can get a lot of financial aid and a lot of opportunities to go to college and also transfer into a university. So the sky is the limit.
That's good. Okay. I'm going to go to the next slide. Okay, this is where we'd like to open it up to our audience to see if you have any questions about college that you want to ask Silvia. So does anybody have any questions? And Liliana, I don't know if you can moderate that.
Yes, if you guys have any questions, please type them in the chat box, and I'll ask the questions. However, just to get started, Silvia, I'm kind of a little curious. So when you were here at Hamilton, and then you transitioned into LA Harbor College, can you speak a little bit about how that process works and maybe any resources that helped you transition into LA Harbor College?
Sorry, I didn't hear you very well. My internet isn't working. Sorry.
Yeah, so can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was just wondering if you can speak a little bit about your transition from Hamilton to LA Harbor College. So what was that process like, and what kind of resources were available through the application and financial aid process to help you get to college?
It was very difficult to find information when I was transferring to college because I was under the impression that I could go anywhere. But the thing is that each college interprets the law differently. So undocumented students have the opportunity to apply to college because there is a law that allows us to go to college that is called AB 540. So the AB 540 law allows students like me to go to college just if we have been living in California for about 2 years or 1 year, I think is now. And we have completed a certain amount of hours at the high school. So when I was applying to college, I applied to the college that was closest to my area. But the thing is that they interpret the law differently. So I couldn't get any financial aid there, and I had to pay all the fees by myself, and it was very expensive. That is when I decided to apply to Harvard College, and I feel like Harvard College has a more diverse community and has more cases with the students like me, for undocumented students. So they are more familiar with the students, with international students and immigrant students. So they have more sources and more financial aid for students like me. So for me, it is a little bit farther, Harvard College, but it's worth it because I can get a lot of financial aid there, and I can pay for, like, the amount that I have to pay for my classes is not like I can afford that. It is cheap. It's cheaper for me to attend Harvard College.
And I think also Liliana wanted to let students know that we also help students, I guess, do some research and transition into the next step towards college or towards career. Did you use student support services at all when you were thinking about transitioning into college?
Hamilton?
Yeah.
Yes, everybody helped me there because I was so lost with the process of applying to college. I think Liliana, I don't remember if Baron still works there.
Yeah, Baron does.
He helped me too. Miss Veronica also helped me with the transition process because it was, I don't want to say that it was very difficult, but it was challenging to find information that I could use to transfer to college for my case, because each case is different, because I don't know, but back then they want me to prove that I was attending Hamilton full time. And I think that all the counselors at Hamilton were like a lot of support and help when transitioning to college. I did use the services there.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Silvia. We do have some questions from the audience. The first question is, the programs you've shared with us, can they help to provide financial aid for international students? So I'm assuming they're talking about the Puente, or I'm not sure if they're talking about Dreamers, but can you talk a little bit about that financial aid and that is available for international students?
I think that for international students, they can apply for scholarships that are special for international students. So there are a section for immigrant students. There is another section of a scholarship for international students. And there is another section for scholarships for students that were born in the US.
Okay, yes, and there, you know, I just want to emphasize something that you had mentioned about the Dreamers. So there is the Dreamers, international students. The Dream Act is specifically for students that are undocumented, who want to continue their education, and then international students can also be students that may have their documentation. So there's different types of resources. If you guys are interested in learning about those specific resources, just let us know and we can answer that for you. The second question is, how long did it take you to finish your high school diploma?
I think it took me like 2 years because I was taking 2 classes at the same time. I was taking the English and mathematics with Mr. C at the same time with yeah, I was taking 2 classes at the same time. I want to say that I was full-time student at Hamilton, and I also was working. So in the mornings I was attending Hamilton, and in the afternoons I was working. So I was like full-time, and it took me like 2 years, I want to say, or more. But right now at Harvard College, I am working less hours because I am taking 4 classes. So, and it's going to take me 2 years to finish Harvard College.
Okay, great. And that's great that you mentioned that, because you are working full time, and we have a lot of students who are working and cannot let go of their jobs. So it's nice to see that you were able to finish your high school education and continue to college while working. So another question is, okay, so you mentioned in 2017 you took ESL classes at Griffith for 2 years, and then you were in the high school diploma program, and you were accepted into Harvard College in last year, right? 2019?
Yeah, I finished in 2019.
Yeah, and so you're still attending Harvard College, and you're going to be there for at least 1 more year, right?
Yes, I'm attending fall. I want to say 2 more terms, winter and spring, and then by fall I'm going to move to university.
Yeah, so she's getting ready to transfer. And you mentioned the UCLA, right? Is that your top choice, or is it? Yes.
I hope so, because UCLA is a very impacted university.
Yes.
So the acceptance rate at UCLA is 14%, but for students that transfer from a community college, the percentage of acceptance rate is 80%. So it is very like worth it to get good grades at the community college, because that can help you to get into UCLA, even though UCLA is a very impacted university. So you have to watch out your grades, because they are going to follow you to university.
Yes, that's very important. Let me ask you this. So a student was asked, they're an engineer from Mexico, and they're asking for the process of co-validation. I can answer that question, but before I do, when you when you transferred to college, did you have to provide transcripts from your country? Because you're educated, you got your education from, what country are you from?
Guatemala?
Guatemala. So you got your, you started your education in Guatemala. Did you have to provide the college with any transcripts in order to get accepted?
No, because I did choose to start my education from zero because I figured out that it was going to be a little bit difficult to validate my grades and my transcripts. So I decided that I was going to start from zero because for me, it makes sense to take all the classes because when I graduated from Guatemala, my high school was 10 years ago. I couldn't remember anything of my maths. And for me, it was more worth it to take all the maths again to refresh all the knowledge that I had. And also because English is my second language, I was trying to take all the English and writing classes as possible because those help me a lot with my composition skills.
Okay, thank you. And just to add on to that question because of the co-validation, if you do have your degree from another country, one of the first processes that we recommend is always to let's look at your transcripts. Let's see if your degree will be accepted by employers here. If not, maybe you need a little bit more education. Maybe you need to go community college. But the first step would be let's look at your degree and your transcripts and all your documents and see what the next step will be. But if you never finish your education, you do want to continue. Silvia is a perfect example that you can continue your education here. I'm looking through the chat. Do you guys have any more questions? If you do, please type them in. But in the meantime, as we receive more questions, you mentioned that there's a lot of students that are parents. By any chance, do you have any insights into how they're able to I know you mentioned that the community colleges provide childcare and things like that, but do you have any insights into how they're able to manage, the childcare and school? Do they work, or how do they do it? Do you know?
It is a little bit difficult for me to answer that question because I don't have kids myself, but I had classmates that had their kids in the childcare service and they also work, and they were like awesome students. They were like A+ students. They were like very, very, very like smart, and they did their best to keep their grades up because I think that they have a lot of support. They have groups that support them with a lot of with tutoring or with the childcare services is really nice also. So I guess that they are very motivated to continue with the school and provide for their families in the future, provide a better future for them.
That's great. That's great. And it's just, that it's anything is possible. If you have children, you're working, you can do it. The next question is, I think you already touched upon this. You're working right now, right? While you're going to school.
Yes, I am a full-time student. I don't work full-time, but I work like 30 hours a week. And it is a little bit difficult to manage time, but I have learned that schools and professors are so nice and helpful when when you share that you are a mom or a dad, or you work full-time and also you are trying to study, like to take classes full-time. They are so understanding and they help you a lot. So it is very important to have a good relationship with your teachers and your classmates because they are a lot of support for you when you are in school.
Okay. Does anyone have any more questions? Any questions? Veronica, do you have any additional questions you would like to ask?
No, I just kind of want to maybe recap Sylvia's journey, where she is right now, and her future journey, just so we can let students know that anything is possible. I think one thing that impressed me a lot about Sylvia is that she had an education in her country, and she came here and she started from the very beginning again, which can be a little bit discouraging, I think, to know that you have studied all these subjects, and then you have to come here and start from scratch and then do it in another language. And still she was motivated to do that. So I'm very impressed by that. And a lot of our students are in the same position. So Sylvia, I just kind of want to ask you, like, really, what is your motivation? Because it's tough. It's tough when you have to start all over again. It's tough when you're in a new country and you don't know the language, and you have to navigate all these new environments. So what keeps you going?
I feel like education has been very important for me since always. I always dream of having a master's, and that is my motivation. Education is super important for me. And it was very important for me to continue with the school. That's why I kept like trying and trying to get accepted at college, because I was always told that students like me don't go to college here. And if they go, it is very expensive, but that is not true. A lot of undocumented students get their masters, their degrees, and there is a lot of financial aid for students like us. And don't be afraid to apply to college or to university if you don't speak a perfect English, or if you don't, your writing skills aren't the greatest, because colleges are so diverse that there are hundreds of students like us that speak Spanish or other languages, and there is a lot of help when you have to do your homework. They will help you as much as they can, but you have to ask for help and look for the help.
Mm-hmm. Great. So you don't have to be perfect to go to college is basically the point. As long as you have that desire, you can definitely find a way. And, you know, student support services is available to help students with whatever research they need or to apply for the college of their choice. So I'm glad that you were able to make this leap into college, and we're looking forward to what else is available for you in the future. Very excited to see what you are going to accomplish. Juliana, do you have any more questions, or do we have any more questions before we wrap it up?
I don't think I do. If you go to the next slide.
Next slide.
If you guys have any questions, maybe you want to learn a little bit more about Silvia and her experience in her program, you know, please feel free to contact us and we can always connect you with her. But here you'll also find information for your student support services team. So feel free to contact us if you do have any questions. We still have a few minutes though. If you do have any questions specifically for Silvia about her major, her journey, please feel free to ask. You know, we're here to answer any of your questions.
Yeah, and I just want to add that I know Silvia, like I said, I think now almost 3 years, and she, you know, like she said, her motivating force is she loves education and she wants to get a master's degree. So I think that everybody needs to think about what is their motivating factor. Why do they keep going, even though it seems like it's going to be a long journey? Because your journey with us in the ESL and in the Hamilton Adult Center to get your diploma was 3 years, correct, right, Silvia?
I think it was more than 3 years.
It
took me a long time, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so we don't want students to get discouraged because time goes by fast, right? So you wanna be contributing to your education or whatever goal you have, right?
But I think that the aspect that slowed me a lot was that I was so insecure about my my communication skills. I was like, I cannot do college because of my English. It's really bad. I can do that. But I feel like the best way to improve my English and my writing skills was to attend Hamilton in Harvard College, because that is when I improve my English skills, and I still struggle, but there is a lot of help.
Yes. Well, you speak very well. I'm very impressed with you. English is
Thank
your
you.
second language, and you've started all over. All the things that you knew in Spanish, you started it all over, learning them in English. So you've come a long way.
Thank you so much. And please, if any of the students need any help, or if they want to talk to me or get any advice because of the knowledge that I have now about undocumented students or students that they speak English as a second language, or if they need any contact with counselors at Harvard College, please reach out to me. My email is in the chat. Don't hesitate to email me. I will help you as much as I can. If I don't have the answer, I will try to find the answer for you. Thank you.
Yeah. And one of the things too is that we can work with Silvia. I suggest also going through the Student Support Services Department, so we can kind of track your progress as well, and help you to connect with Silvia if you would like to speak to her some more. And Liliana, if there's no more questions, I think
I want to ask, I don't know if Maria is still here, but I want to ask her if she wants to share any information that I have forgotten to share, or if she has anything that she would like to share as well.
Maria, are you there? Would you like to share?
Is Maria Xavier, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me unmute her. Give me 1 second.
Thank you, guys. Hello. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so what I want to share with you is that I studied with Silvia long ago. I remember her. We were just trying to communicate. It was very difficult at the beginning. But what I did instead, because I already graduated in my country, I'm from Brazil, and I went straight to Cal State, Long Beach. And when I got there, in an international students, they just said, no, you have to do a GE. So I started searching. I went to El Camino College. It was very difficult for me to get in there, to be honest. Just as Silvia was sharing, because of the language and to try to explain what we want. So I would encourage everybody, do not feel like I can't share what I want to get there. Just try your best. I remember one of the teachers from Torrance School, he told us, do not be scared of your accent. It's good for you to have an accent, because you're going to be identified as the different one. Oh, that girl from that has a little accent, she's so smart. You're going to be the one that everybody will know where you're going, who you are. So I went there. It was very difficult, but I persisted. I was an au pair. I was taking care of kids. I lived with an American family, so they could help me a lot with English, communicating with the school. So that was something that for me, I had this help. I had nobody here, no friends, no family, only them. And that's when I started. So I'm about to finish school now. Hopefully I can get to Cal State Long Beach. As Silvia said, keep your GPA. Don't give up. Keep your GPA up as much as you can. Talk to professors. They're there to help you. And don't give up. It's just like, if you try your best in anything you do, and if you have a vision, you will get there. That's it. Whatever you want, you're going to work for this. So that's what I would say about my experience.
Thank you, Maria. That
you.
sounds great. That's very motivational for our students. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, Liliana, do you no more questions? Should we wrap it up?
No more questions. Thank you.
Okay, so I want to thank Silvia for giving us a great insight into her life and her journey into college and beyond. and motivating all of us to realize that even though things can appear very difficult, we can still do them. Thank you to Maria for sharing. Silvia, do you want to say any closing words before we end?
No, that's it. Just please ask any questions if you have. You have my email. Don't hesitate to ask or email me if you need any help, please.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, Liliana, I think I'm going to stop sharing now.